Om. Om. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamatsyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Shruti Smriti-purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Okay, so we have to start from verse 571 today. We completed up to 570 and we are on the portion where Bhagwan is blessing his disciple, and in the blessings he is also giving us pointers, the characteristics of a realized master, of a Jivan Mukta Purusha, Purusha who has attained liberation here and now while living. Okay, so that's where we are, that's the portion that we are on. Avrutte Sat Sat Twabhyam Vaktavve Bandhamokshane Navrittir Brahmana Kajit Anya Bhavadanamvrutam Yadyastyadvaitahanihi Syad Dvaitam no Sahate Shrutihi. When there is the presence or absence of veiling, bondage and liberation can be spoken of. There can be no veiling for Brahman, as it is obvious there be no second thing besides it. If there is, it will contradict the non-duality of Brahman. The scriptures will never suffer duality. What is being said here is we are saying in the state of ignorance, we say that there is veiling. And because of that veiling, a projection is happening. So what is being veiled from us is our own real nature, which is Satchitananda. But that is now being veiled by Maya or ignorance. And therefore now I'm thinking myself to be the body, mind, intellect. And therefore I think that I'm bound and I need to get liberated. And that's why we are doing all the karma yoga to purify our mind. We are studying, we are doing whatever the practices that we are doing. But if that is true, if bondage is true, that means right now there is bondage and then it will go away at a certain stage, which means what happens is then right now there is duality, and then at some time in the future that duality will go away. So if we say like that, then the scriptures are negated, because scriptures see Dvaitam no sahate shrutihi. Sahate, it cannot bear the thought of duality, Shruti. So the Vedas are saying, and I've told you this point, even right now we are liberated and we are free. The only thing is we don't know that. It is ignorance. And that is why we have always said that what can remove bondage is only knowledge. Action cannot remove bondage. And I gave you the example from Atmabodh. If it is a dark room, you cannot sweep the darkness out. You can take a vacuum cleaner, powerful Dyson, whatever, or the iRobot, and try to take the darkness out. It's not going to do it. So even now we are free. We are that Satchit Ananda even now, right now, here and now. Only thing is we don't know, we feel limited. And the reason for that limitation is because of our identification with the body, which I have also told you that nobody says I am the body, but then the type of questions that we ask, or when we get upset when something happens to the body, or when the body is modifying. That's why even in chapter 15, Bhagwan, when he says, Mama eva ansha jiva, means jiva belongs to Bhagwan. But now this jiva identifying with the body has taken over the properties of Prakriti. And even in 18, Bhagwan said, Paradharma, is bhayava. You don't take, what is my swadharma from the absolute standpoint? I'm Satchitananda. Even now, right now also I'm Satchit. It's not like right now I'm some ignorant person and then I'll become. So, but because of our identification, we are taking over the dharma of Prakriti. So when I modify, I don't modify. When my body modifies, I think that I am modifying. Actually, I'm not. This is what this is saying, that there is no bondage. Actually, in actuality, there is no bondage, because if there really was, it would never come off. And also, when we say veiling, can you veil space? Forget Brahman. Brahman is even subtler than space. Can you veil space? No, the veiling that you'll put will be in space. You cannot veil space. So there is nothing other than Brahman. What will veil it? That's why we say it is very pure. Why? Because impurity comes when there's something other thing, which is, like on my clothes, something is falling or something, then impurity comes. If there is nothing else, there cannot be. Bandhascha mokshascha mrisheva mudha buddhir gunam vastu nikalpayanti dragavratim megha kratam yatharavo yato dvaya sangajite aksharam. Bondage and liberation are attributes of the intellect, which the foolish superimpose upon the reality, as the veiling of the eyes by clouds is superimposed upon the sun. In fact, this immutable reality is absolute knowledge, non-dual and unattached. So when we look out, especially Vancouver, most of the days are cloudy, and then we say that the clouds are covering the sun. Is it ever possible? Can't. The sun is so huge. So there is no cloud that will cover it, right? But we say that, and what we forget is, it is because of the sun, presence of the sun. That is why we even see the cloud. Do I see clouds in the dark when the sun is not there? The sun is there. That's why I see the clouds. And I say that the cloud is covering the sun. So this is why bandha and moksha, bondage and liberation, are the attributes of the intellect, because the intellect is always functioning in the realm of cause and effect, in the realm of dualities. Mind, intellect, they function only in dualities. I like this, I don't like this, joy, sorrow, honor, dishonor, cause, effect, bondage, I'm bound, I feel bound. All this is attributes of the intellect which are falling in Prakriti. They fall in Prakriti because Jiva is not Prakriti. Purusha is not Prakriti. Purusha is different. Kalpayanti, imagined. So bondage is imagined. And then, of course, because of that, oh, now I got liberated. At a certain time, I will get liberated, or I got liberated. And that's why just like the clouds can never cover the sun, That way, ignorance can never cover the supreme reality. It is actually just like, because of the sun, I see the clouds. Because of the supreme reality, I know that I'm ignorant of so many things. You understand? This is how it is. Astiti pratyayo yashcha yashcha nastiti vastuni buddhereva guna vetau natu nityasya vastunaha. The concept that bondage is and the concept that it is not are, with reference to the reality, only attributes of the intellect. Never do they belong to Brahman, the eternal reality. It is, to understand this simply, when I say sunlight and darkness, okay, I say light and darkness, right? During the daytime, there was light and now there'll be night. It is my intellect that is saying it. Now, think of it from the standpoint of the sun. Is there any darkness? If you ask sun, what is darkness? Would he know that? Can there be the concept of sunlight and darkness in the sun? If I can reach the sun, will I ever experience darkness? But standing on the earth, I experience both sunlight and darkness. Like that, the intellect right now feels bound and wants to get liberated, especially now that we are, halfway, half-baked, because we have read the scriptures. we are not fully, if we were fully baked, we wouldn't be in class, but we are half-baked. So we think we are bound and we think that we will get liberated at some point in time. Okay. What is liberation is just the removal of ignorance, just the removal of the thought that I am BMI. That's it. That's it. If you start disidentifying from the body, mind, intellect, and it'll be easy if the mind gets purified. Then the mind will know that whatever is happening, the jiva is experiencing. I don't. Okay, so buddhe reva guna vetyu. Natu nitya vastu is pure consciousness. Nitya, it is eternal. Okay, vastu word is used for pure consciousness because vastu comes from the dhatu vas. Vas dhatu also, the word vastra comes from vas dhatu. Vastra means cloth, that which covers, right? Cloth is that which covers us. So this vas dhatu means to pervade, means to cover. Cover means pervade, actually. Cover means not that Brahman is covered, but Brahman is pervading everything. That's why it is also known as vastu, because it comes from vas dhatu, which is to cover. And from vas comes vastra. And vastra we all know, Hindi, Sanskrit, Marathi. Excuse me. Vastra means cloth. And cloth covers us, right? That's why nitya vastu. So nitya, eternal, birthless, deathless. So there is no thing of bondage, just like there cannot be darkness on the sun. There's no question of darkness on the sun or in the sun. Atastau mayaya kluptau bandha mokshau na chatmani nishkale nishkriye shante niravadde niranjane advitiya pare tattve vyomavat kalpana kutaha. Therefore, ataha, bondage and liberation are conjured up by Maya and are not in the Atman. As there can be no limitation regarding the infinite space, how can there be any limitation regarding the supreme reality, which is devoid of parts, devoid of activity, serene, unimpeachable, untainted, and non-dual? All these words we have heard again. So bondage and liberation conjured up by Maya, ignorance. Ignorance. So I've told you this before. Ignorance happens when there is not complete knowledge and there is not complete ignorance. So when I walk into a room, if the room is extremely well lit, I will always see the rope as a rope. In a well-lit room, I cannot make mistake of snake on the rope. Okay, if I walk in and it's completely dark, I will not see the rope only then. So again, there is no question of projection. The projection of the snake happens because there is neither full light nor full darkness. So it's twilight. It's like in between. It's, you see, that is how it is. That is why this projection happens. So in that faint light, I don't see the rope as a rope, and then I project a snake on it or a garland, whatever. What is happening in our cases, if I was fully enlightened, I would know that I'm Atma. Okay. And if I was completely ignorant, then you know what, if I'm completely ignorant, I would not even know that I'm existing. That is the problem there. There is the problem. If I ask any one of you, are you existing? If you say, no, I'm not existing, you know what? Really, there is no problem. If you say, I am not here, if I say I am not here, there is no problem. There's no problem. But the problem comes because I'm saying I am. How do you mean? What do you mean? I'm sitting here, I'm talking. What do you mean I don't exist? Of course I exist. What am I existing as? That is the question. So when I say I exist, the actual answer should be I am existence itself. A realized master probably would say that. I am existence in the form of this female, in this female form, or in this whatever form, 5'4", whatever description. I am existence in this. This is the correct, complete enlightenment. But it is not there. Okay, complete darkness would be I'm not existing only. It's complete dark, no problem. Problem is in between. I say, no, I'm existing. And I exist. What do you mean? I'm sitting here. I'm a female. I'm 5'4". Then the whole description of body. I'm sentimental. I'm emotional. And I'm this. And I'm intelligent. And I'm that. And that. And that. And that. Everything spirals. So Atma, Nishkala, untainted. We have seen this. There's nothing else. Nishkriya, non-doer. What is doing is the ego. The non-doer position of your consciousness cannot be negated, falsified, doubted, because that is what Shruti is saying. Shanta. Beyond Shanti and Ashanti, Prashanta, Prakarshena Shanta, very quiet. There is nothing else to disturb the quietness. Now see, when I'm alone in the house, there's nothing. I'm very quiet and peaceful. Some phone call comes, something happens, then I get disturbed, right? Something happens or doesn't happen as I was expecting. Oh, my child didn't call me. Now I'm disturbed. But when I'm all alone, I'm undisturbed. So that's why Niravade can never die, because there is no birth. Only what is born is death. So when joy is born, there will be sorrow. That's why that joy also, you should not let joy, let there be joy, but you remain same equanimous. Then when dukkha comes, when you have to leave that joy, you will remain equanimous. That is what that video is all about. You know, there's science and then there is Bhagavad Gita after that. That's why I've sent it to you. Niravade, Niranjane, untainted. And Nishkale is parts, no parts. Advitiye, this Advaita, yes, in Advaita Veda, there is nothing other than Brahman, even right now. Even though I see the world of plurality, there is only that one principle. Pare Tattve, supreme reality. Pare Tattve, Pare, Param. Vyomavat kalpana kutaha. How can you imagine? How can you do kalpana? Imagine in space. Can you imagine parts in space? Can you imagine? See, even space, you spit or whatever, space doesn't get tainted. Air might get polluted. The ground will get polluted. You spit or you spill something, you know, not good on this thing, but space never gets tainted. You cannot touch space. Okay. न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता. Neither is there birth nor death. And we are so afraid of death, right? Fear death and then fear of death. How is death going to come? When it is going to come? If you are truly established in the principle, thus such fears, at least they shouldn't be that intense. Okay. Neither a bound nor a struggling one, neither a seeker nor a liberated one. This is the ultimate truth. There is a Marathi bhajan where the the bhajan goes that with the grace of my guru, I managed to cross the samsar of the ocean of sansar. And but then it was very amazing that when I looked back, there was no guru and there was no ocean at all. Nothing. So we imagine this ocean of sansar, then the guru helps us cross it. Then you realize there was nothing to begin with. I was liberated right from the beginning, but you realize it only afterwards, not there. Therefore, there is no nirodha and no utpatti, means death and birth. There is nothing for the pure consciousness. It is not there. For the body, it is definitely there, and no body is exception to that. So that is there. So in the first line, in reality, you are Brahman itself. That's why you have no birth and you have no death. Now the last portion, blessed disciple liberated. Sakala nigama chuda swanta siddhanta rupam paramit mati guhyam darshitam te mayadya apagata kalidosham kama nirmukta buddhim swasut vada sakritvam bhavayitva mumukshum. Considering you to be a seeker after liberation, as one purged of the taints of this dark age, with mind free from desires, I have today revealed to you again and again, as I would to my own son, the supreme and profound secret, the innermost essence of Vedanta, the crest of the Vedas. This is what the Guru now is saying to his disciple, who is already liberated. He said that I considered you as a seeker of liberation, as one purge of the taints of the dark age, Kali Yuga, so a lot of impurities, with mind free from desires. So as one purge of the taint means, as he's talking about himself, I have been purged of because he's realized, the Guru is realized here. So he says, I have considered you as a seeker, and I, with a mind free from desires, my mind is free from desire. So I don't even have any desire that now you should do something for me or whatever, that sort of thing. My mind is free of desires. Why? Because he's a liberated master. I have today revealed to you again and again. And yeah, Bhagwan Shankaracharya again and again has told us so many times, like I told you, there's so much repetition, so that it goes in our thick skull, as my own son. So a relationship is indicated, because the father indicating relations. So a lot of repetition. So what is, it's basically, if we have a small child, do not we repeat? Take care, don't do this, don't lose the key, eat your food, warm this up, we repeat to our children same way. This is what the Guru is saying, Bhagwan Shankaracharya is saying. The supreme and profound secret, this word we have seen. Secret is because even Bhagwan says, iti guhyatamam shastram, guhyatamam, very, very well kept secret, because a secret is something which is not told to like the general public. If I have a secret, I probably am not going to tell it in class. I might tell one or two people whom I trust very much. So one aspect of secret is that it is not told to everybody. Only the chosen one. A person is chosen for me to tell a secret. So that is one aspect of it. Second aspect of it, secret, because it cannot be known by the senses. That is also another aspect of this knowledge being a secret knowledge. And third aspect also is that is actually an open secret, because why? It is aham. This whole Vedanta description is of aham. But the problem is that the aham, I am taking it as the small I. The aham, this knowledge is about the big I, the pure consciousness, but I am taking myself to be the small I, the ego. So that's why it is secret. Even though it is an open secret, it is about me. It is not, my understanding of me is mistaken. Who am I? It's a wrong answer that I'm giving. When I'm asked, who are you? I'm saying I'm so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. I'm not saying I am that existence consciousness bliss principle, right? So that's why also it is a secret. And Bhagavad Gita says Guhyatamam, the most well-kept secret. We have good, better, and best. Three degrees we have now, like in English, good, better, best. So this, if it is Guhya, means good, it is knowledge of the material world. Guhya, because even material world, how to make money, not everybody knows. By correct means, not every. So that is the Guhya secret, means the good secret is to make money in the material world. Then there is Guhya Taram. Guhya Taram is what Nachiketas asked in Kathopanishad. My father wants to go to heaven, so tell me this Agnihotra karma by which my father can go to the heavens. So Guhya Tara is knowledge about the worlds, where it is a point of return. Therefore, it is better than material world, because you're trying for something higher. Because no matter what this mortal world can give you by way of comforts or money or pleasures, heavens is great, much greater pleasure than whatever pleasure that you can get on earth. Heavenly pleasures are much greater. And that also is a secret, because not everybody knows how to get that. But Guhya Tamam is this Advaita Vedanta secret, because that is a point of no return. And that's why this is a very well kept secret. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita also says, Bhagavan also says, this secret I'm telling you, because you're my chosen one, you are my friend, you are my devotee. Sakha and Bhakta, you are of me. That's why I'm telling you this. So that is the thing of this. So here also Bhagavan uses that this supreme and profound. So supreme Guhya Tamam, not Guhya or Guhya Taram, Guhya Tamam. This is what Bhagavan is telling him here. Okay, then iti shrutva guror vakyam prashrayena kritanatihi satena samanudnyataha yayo nirmukta bandhanaha. Hearing the words of the teacher, the disciple prostrated to him with reverence, and obtaining his permission, went his way freed from bondage. So he prostrated, in spite of knowing that now Guru and me are one and the same. So respect, the gratitude more than respect. The second paragraph is very important. In these few following verses, Shankara is pointing out the reactions upon the student on intelligently listening to and dynamically pursuing the wisdom of this textbook. See, the one who gets real knowledge now, or really understands this knowledge, will always prostrate to the Guru. He will not say, oh, now I also have exact same knowledge like you do. The spiritual seeker will never say that. If he has got if he really understood what the spiritual guru is teaching him. This is what's happened here. He understood, he realized. Now he is himself a realized master. The Guru himself has said that you are realized, and yet he prostrates. Because as long as the form is there, the prostration is there. Surrender. Even though the ego is not there. For us, prostration, we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, how do you serve the master is by prostrating. There's one thing which is physical prostrating, but the real thing is to surrender the ego. But here still he prostrates. Guru Reva Sadananda Sindhau Nirmagna Manasaha Pavayan Vasudham Sarvam Vichachara Nirantaraha. And the teacher, his mind immersed in the ocean of eternal bliss, forever wandered about, indeed blessing the whole world. So what happened to the teacher? This is a conclusion. This whole, it's similar to, in Bhagavad Puran. See, Parikshit Raja was told that he's going to die in 7 days. So he said, he went to Shukdev Maharaj and he said, please tell me, Bhag, because I've got only 7 days to, and I would like to get myself liberated. So that was the maximum time. Apparently, Shukdev stayed at one place only the time it takes to milk a cow. Only that much time he used to stay at one place. Shukdev was always wandering about only. Ever since he came out of the womb, he just started wandering only because he was already realized. But for him, for Parikshit, he stayed for 7 days at the banks of the river Ganges, and then all other people came also. And then at the end of 7 days, when this Takshak, the snake, came to bite the king, because that was the curse, Parikshit was already released. So what happened? So he went away his way. And then what did the teacher do? Teacher just wandered about. It's not like, oh, my disciple, now what is happening to you? No drama. He went away, disciple went away. So here also, and the disciple prostrated and he went away, wandered about. And teacher also just wanders and blesses the entire world. It's like the sunlight, wherever the sun goes, it will give light only. It cannot give darkness. It cannot give anything other than light. So same way, a spiritual master, a realized person will only bless. He will not do anything else. Now the glory of the textbook, the last portion. इत्याचार्यस्य शिष्यस्य संवादेनात्मलक्षणं निरूपितं मुमुक्षूणां सुखबोधोपपत्तये. Thus, by means of a dialogue between the teacher and the disciple, the Atman has been indicated for the easy comprehension of seekers after liberation. Important word, samvad. We see in Bhagavad Gita also, it was a there is vada, there is jalpa, and there is samvada. So other types of arguments are there. Some arguments are where they are not trying to get to the truth. They're just trying to prove their own point. So it's my point against your point. So that is not a samvada. Then there is another one, jalpa vada, where he's just trying to oppose what the other person is saying. You say east, I am going to say west, just for the sake of it. So such an argument was going on between two people. Then finally the second person said, okay, Baba, you know what, whatever you say is true, because I don't want to argue anymore. Then the guy said, now I have changed my mind. Now I'm saying the opposite. So there are those type of people also. But samvada is one where both parties are trying to get to the truth. Samvad is one where one person has admitted that this other person knows more than what I do. That's why Bhagavad Gita Samvada it is called. Here also this was a Samvada. Therefore the Shishya, he asked 7 questions because he knew that the Guru knows these answers. Therefore he asked, and whatever the Guru said, he followed. That is very important. Huh? See, we can listen till the cows come home, but if we don't follow, then what is the point? There is no point. So therefore this samvada is happened, and this is what he's saying, that this samvada, any seeker of liberation, if he reads, but not just reads, but also follows. Action and knowledge. See, in 18th chapter, now it will come. Dhritarashtra asks, who do you think will win? Sanjay. So Sanjay says, I think, Krishna representing knowledge, Arjun representing action. If both of those are on that side, I think they will win. So knowledge and action have to go hand in hand. See, action without knowledge is what? Mere acrobatics. You don't know exactly what you're doing and you just go on doing it. What's the point? No point. You have knowledge, but no action. That knowledge cannot just produce results. Knowledge alone cannot produce result. Knowledge and action both are required. Therefore here, this dialogue between the Guru and the Shishya is meant for other people to read. Other people means not general public, but those who want liberation, those who would like at least some peace of mind. Basic thing that this will give you is peace of mind. So if you want that, then you read it, indicated for the easy comprehension of seekers after liberation. Upanishads also, all of them are in the form of dialogue. Always Guru Shishya. Some Upanishads will mention the name of the Guru and the Shishya, like Kathopanishad. Some will just say Guru and Shishya. And then there are some Amrit Bindu Upanishad, only the teaching is there, but it is presumed that there is a Guru and he's teaching the disciples. So this Guru Shishya, that's why this Guru Shishya Parampara is there. this tradition of this knowledge going from guru to shishya, and the guru likes the one who becomes a guru himself, means he likes the disciple. Therefore, a guru always loves his disciple more than he loves the devotee, let me tell you. And it appears like he's very strict with the disciple, and it really appears that he's very harsh with the disciple, and with the devotee he's like all gaga over that devotee. But actually in his mind, because he is trying to make a guru out of the disciple, and he knows that the devotee can never become a guru. Devotees only he cannot become, unless the devotee turns to become disciple and then goes on. But disciple is one who is following discipline. That is where the word disciple comes from discipline. So that's why we say discipline is very, very, very essential in spiritual practices. Hitamidamupदेशमान्द्रियन्तां विहित निरस्त समस्त चित्त दोषाः भव सुख विरता प्रशांत चित्ताः श्रुति रसिकायतयो मुमुक्षवो ये. May those men appreciate this salutary teaching who are seekers after liberation, who have cleansed themselves of the taints of the mind by observing the prescribed methods, who have a distaste for worldly enjoyments, who have serene minds, and who take a delight in the scriptures. So that there are so many conditions. Seekers after liberation means if you are a seeker, if there is a big if, I always say that in all my classes, if you want liberation, then cleansed themselves of the taints of the mind. Mind has to be purified, has to be. There is no other way. And karma yoga is the means. Therefore, karma yoga then becomes extremely important. Okay, taints of the mind. By observing the prescribed, what is the prescribed method? Karma yoga. For mind, there is no other method other than karma yoga. To come from rajas into sattva, karma yoga is very essential. Who have a distaste for worldly enjoyments. Now this distaste, understand this distaste is dispassion. Dispassion. So what is dispassion is not dislike. So when the worldly enjoyment comes, nobody, Vedanta is not asking you not to enjoy or turn away from it. Somebody calls you for a reception or a dinner or a this, nobody is telling you not to go, okay? You go, you enjoy, but then drop it. Drop it. You don't relive that. It's like, you know, they give the example of the dog. You know, the dog will keep biting on the bone. And actually what is happening is the bone is lacerating his mouth and the blood is oozing out. And the dog thinks that the blood is from the bone. And he sucks upon his own blood and he kind of enjoys it. That is what we do when we bring the past enjoyment into the present. That is what we do. That distaste means don't turn away. Nobody is asking you to turn, because that enjoyment is coming because of your prarabdha, because of your previous karmas. It's okay. It's okay. You have not asked for it. It has come. Take it, but leave it also. Leave it also. Okay, should be left. Enjoy, then leave it. Vigata spraha, don't have spraha for it. That longing to enjoy should not be there. That is dispassion. Okay. Gurudev himself has given purged impurities. So you can read 1 to 6 points. Sansara dhvani tapa bhanu kirana proda bhuta daha vyatha Khinnanam jalakankshaya marubhuvi bhrantya paribhramyantam atyasanna sudham buddhim sukhakaram brahmadvayam darshayati esha shankara bharati vijayate nirvana sandayini. For those who are afflicted in this samsara by the burning pains caused by the scorching sun rays of the threefold sorrows, Adhyatmika, Adidaivika, Adibhautika, and those who in delusion roam in a desert in search of water, For them, here is the glorious message of Shankara, pointing out the ocean of nectar, the non-dual Brahman, within easy reach in order to lead them to liberation. What Bhagavan is saying here is those who are afflicted, what we have to understand here, see, most of the people come into this knowledge or Vedanta, Brahma Kumaris, yoga in daily life. There are so many, ISKCON temple, all the spiritual organizations, mostly people will go there when they are afflicted by sorrow. Then they start thinking, why did this happen to me? Why did God do this to me? That's the first thing. Why did they blame God? Why did God do this? What did I do? I was such a good person. My husband was so good, but yet this thing happened, that thing happened, all this. And then they come. And this is what Bhagavan is saying here, that those who are afflicted, of course, Gurudev used to say that this is like a hospital. So only sick people come to the hospital. Does a healthy person just go to the hospital or the doctor say, oh, you know what? I'm just coming to visit you. Nobody will even think of the doctor or the hospital if then they are healthy. So when they are sick, then they start thinking, oops, I need a doctor, I need a hospital, whatever. That way. But we see there is one thing. It starts raining and then you get wet and then you go look for an umbrella, or would you rather have the umbrella and then when the rain comes, you're already protected? So even though Bhagwan Shankaracharya correctly has said that those who are afflicted, see, most of us don't even know that we are afflicted. We don't know that. We go through joy one day, sorrow. We are going up and down, and we are living like that, like everybody is living. Bhagwan said those who are afflicted should study this. But my thing is that no, everybody should study this because afflictions are going to come. Don't think nobody. I would be really surprised if somebody says that right from birth to death I've not seen. And honestly, until the person really dies, you cannot say that the person has had a good life because you really don't know what is going to happen next moment. So the thing is that it is better to come into this knowledge before anything happens. Then when something happens, God forbid, we say, no, we are not saying that it should happen, but if it happens, then you are protected. This is what Bhagavan is saying here. Shankar Bharati Vijayate Nirvana Sandayani. With easy, in order to lead Nirvana Sandayani, it will lead us to Nirvana. Liberate, it will give us the highest liberation if we put forth the efforts. But one thing I can promise you, that this knowledge will definitely give you peace of mind. Questions will not arise. You will have more acceptance. There'll be peace. There'll definitely be peace. Okay, so study this before anything happens. Now, I'm going to read the first verse to indicate to us that the studies are not complete. I need a few more minutes of your time. Are there any questions? Everybody's okay? All right. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. So I first of all want to express my deepest gratitude to all of you for giving me a chance to study this text. I have told you before that this text I taught and studied right after I came out of Sandipani, which was almost 12 years ago. And after that, the chance was not there, but thanks to all of you, I got the chance. And when I actually started this text, it was just like, okay, I have to take another text and yeah, I'll take it. But as I went into the text and I studied it myself again, I realized how important it was and how much more clarity it gave me to explain Bhagavad Gita or any other text. So I honestly feel really grateful that I got this chance, because without you, I wouldn't have probably studied. And the other thing, just a few weeks ago, the thought came to me that I'm coming to the end of this text. What next? And the thought that came to my mind was that, as you know, there is a certain set of daily reading that I do. So I'm going to add this book to my set of books. And my sankalpa would be to read at least one verse per day. So if it's going to take me about 600 days, which is 2 years, that's fine, no problem. And sometimes I might read more than 2 verses. That is what I would request all of you to do as well. Like, don't think that the teaching is complete. Go back, read Gurudev's commentary. It'll give you a more clarity. This is so exhaustive. Like, he has dealt with every single topic in this book, so it'll give you more clarity. Just make a sankalpa that I'm going to read only one verse. No need to have this, oh, I'll read 10 verses per day. Nothing like that. One verse, it's okay. Let it take 2 years. Where are we going? So let it take. Now, the text has taken 2.5 years. And if there have been any errors on my part, any mistakes, shortcomings, they're all mine. They don't belong to my guru. Okay. But if I've said something correct, if something that I've said has made an impact in your life, then it has come from my guru. So it is not mine. Now that we have completed, generally, as a matter of routine, when I take classes, we do not ask request for Guru Dakshina, but this has been a big text. And so what it is my request. Guru Dakshina, first of all, comes from the heart. It is an expression of gratitude to the Guru Shishya Parampara. It is not an expression of gratitude to me per se, okay? Because all the knowledge that I have given you has come from my Guru. It hasn't come from me. So it is an expression of your gratitude towards the Guru Shishya Parampara. Now, having said that, because this class is a mixture of Calgary and Vancouver, Calgary, Saskatchewan and Vancouver, those who are based in Calgary and Saskatchewan, I would request you to send and Guru Dakshina, Guru Dakshina should be given if you think that this text has helped you. If you think that there's no difference in your life, then no problem, then there is no point. But if you think that this has given you a better understanding of life, of how to deal with things, if it has given you some peace of mind in any which way, then those who are in Calgary and Alberta and Saskatchewan, please send it to Calgary Mission, your donation. This class is administered by Vancouver. So those who are in Vancouver, Surrey, BC, please send it to Vancouver. And I think if for you, I think there's a Calgary email address. If you don't know, please do ask Vinita or Kalpana. Kalpana is not here. Kalpana is here. Kalpana, are you there? Kalpana is the treasurer. And Kalpana, make sure that you write receipts, tax deductible receipts to all of them. So Saskatchewan and Calgary people sent it to Kalpana, and Vancouver people sent it to Prem Sai. And I think all of you know, treasurer@chinmayavancouver.org. That is our address. And Kalpana, if you want to just put it in the chat, or ask Vinita or Kalpana, you guys. Now, for now, we are going to suspend this class, Friday class. We have completed the text by God's grace, Gurudev's blessings. And it took a lot of dhriti, lot of patience, because it's such a huge text. But I'm really, it gives me a sense of fulfillment that I've completed. And that's why I want to not let go. So I will be reading it. All of you also read it. If there is, yeah, there it is. treasurer@chinmaycalgary.org, and ours is treasurer@chinmayvancouver.org. Chinmay Vancouver is one word. Is there any questions anybody wants to ask? Or okay. So
Jayaji, I know you would like to have a break on this after this big text, and as you said, we should do a lot of mananam after this thing has been over. But I would really feel that we should not let go of this this satsang that we have started on Friday, any other text, but please think about something that we would enjoy doing it again and again, because this, if you let go of this class, then again, you know, that this habit of, you know, having this Friday class and doing something together and
Okay.
learning, it is
Okay.
nice. So we
So,
don't want to let it go.
so okay. What I'm going to I will leave it to the total vasanas. Okay. It is the totality, the vasanas of the totality that this thing. So how do we know that? All of you, if you can take the trouble to write to info@Chinmaya Vancouver, there is an address on our website. Write it to the board, write it to the Vancouver board. Okay, because they're the ones that will then continue. I think that even if you want to start this class, we can start it in September. Is that okay? If at all, so that we get a break and after this thing. But all of you, if you can write to the board in Vancouver, because this class is being administered by Vancouver. The Monday class, I'm exactly going to say the same thing after chapter 18, but that's going to take a while. There'll be discussion also on that. All of you will have to write to Calgary whether or not you want that class continued and how you want to go about it, whether you want Bhagavad Gita from the beginning again or what you want or whatever. So this one, if you can write to the board that you would like this class to continue, and whoever has any suggestions for any text, you can write that as well. And then we will take it from there. And, you know, and my Sunday and Monday classes are going on. Sunday class is not getting मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ